So, initially when I was watching this episode last night, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I am actually entertained this episode. I am so entertained. I felt like I was watching, I was laughing, I was having a good time. And then I started to realize, wait a minute. Okay, we've got some interesting, fun scenes and some things that probably should have happened earlier in the season, but we are still at this space where we cannot move on. And I have to tell you guys this, and some of you guys are going to disagree, but I'm going to let you know this. It is like Ayanla Van Zant says, the fish stinks from the head down. Okay, what do I mean by that? The fish stinks from the head down. So it's either I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna name some names, okay? And some of you guys are gonna be displeased, and I don't care. Because at the end of the day, it is prohibiting one of my old favorite shows from being able to move forward and feel fun and at least exciting and fresh again. Okay. So why do I say that the fish stinks from the head down? Well, it is either on the half of the network, production, or Gizelle that these ladies, one of those three entities or persons, have set the tone for which now several other ladies seem to be um currently existing, right? So what I mean by that is I feel like Gizelle has set the tone with this whole Wendy and Nneka, not Wendy and Nneka, but the Wendy and Candiace situation for her to not be able to move on with either one of them. Now, if it was just the Candiace situation of it all for this year, then I might be able to say, okay, well, it's understandable. They did have some real harsh words, or at least Candiace has some harsh words for her as a result of some things that she did that were pretty harsh. But the Wendy of it all, I feel like it's been time. Okay, it's been time over in this situation. I felt like Wendy, you gave it to Wendy, and Wendy gave it right back to you. Okay, and by this point in time, we need to be moving past it because Karen then gave it to you equally as bad as Wendy. Okay, did we not forget about the hot box? Okay, and I do understand that Karen also too knows how to play the game. I think she realized she went kind of ham, and then she pulled back quite a bit and became the comedic relief, okay, that she had always been. But now I feel like learned behavior, Wendy is now at the point where she cannot move forward with the Nneka. Okay. Now, granted, I understand you didn't talk. Listen, we done brought the mama into it. We didn't got the shrine of it all, and I do feel it. But again, when we look at the stinking, okay, and we think about the stinking concept of not being able to move on, have conversations, have ponderosas, have sit downs, and move on in some way, in some type of friendly way, shape, or form, at least for the sake of my entertainment, okay, then somebody got to go. Somebody got to go. Somebody got to go. Somebody's the holdup in this group, and I'm gonna let y'all figure it out right now. Somebody who got to go. Chime down in the chat. Somebody got to go. Now it's either gonna be Gizelle, okay, or it's gonna be Candiace. At the end of the day, I think if Gizelle had her way, it would be Candiace and Wendy. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work, my sis. Something got to give. And I feel like Gizelle being the resident queen bee that the network seems to want to make her, I feel like at some point in time, she's gonna have to come down off her pedestal, okay, off of her chariot, and like Mariah said, begin to throw tomatoes with everybody else. Now I know I sound crazy. I'm cool with it, but y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all got to play ball. And if y'all can't play ball, somebody got to go. And I feel like the people that is not willing to play the balls, y'all can go. If you're not willing to get out on the court with the rest of the team, and mix it up and make this thing fun, then you can go. You can leave, whoever it may be. So when I look at this episode titled First Come, First Served, I look at my entertainment value. Did I have fun? I did laugh last night. I'm gonna give it an 8.9. I would give it a 9, but I'm still mad because I do feel like under the laughs and the editing, there's still some trickery that nobody on production or the network is bothering to take a stand on. Somebody need to come down from New York City and set this thing straight. Meanwhile, over at Gizelle's, okay, she and Ashley are working on their athleisure line. Now, this athleisure line is called GNA, stand for Gizelle and Ashley. How creative. And it's a combination of Lululemon and Savage Fenty and a whole lot of rhinestone, okay? Ashley has realized she got to start making some money and some coin. Why would you think that velour would be anything that you would want to put on to work out in? Why would I want a heavy curtain on me while I'm going to work out? Why would I want that? It ain't breathable, babe. What you wearing to work out in? Karen goes and meets with Aunt Val and cousin David back at the Karen family reunion, and we learned she done bought her grandmama's estate. She's turning it into something for the tourism. Aunt Val just don't want nothing freaky deaky, and Karen thinking about having a ganja farm. I think this storyline is cool, because of the generational aspect of it and the plantation owning of it all. You know what I think? You know what I'm saying? I think that's novel. It's interesting. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mind seeing that in light of what we could be seeing with shrines. Okay. Mia heads down to the Salt Sanctuary to meet Robin. Is it me? Or I feel like Mia functions better than some of the older ladies on the Fox Force 5. And by older ladies, I mean the more seasoned ladies from the beginning of time of this show. Mia seems quirky. I don't think she takes herself too seriously. Beefs with Mia don't seem to last long. I think you just never know whether or not she's always being the most forthcoming. You know what I'm saying? And I think if she could work on that, or at least forthcoming about, things that she's saying about people or what she's heard about them, I feel like she might be a better fit to kind of move forward with as being a mainstay of this group. Because for me, I kind of feel like Gizelle and Robin, I feel like they just can't move on. They can't move on, twins. You know what I'm saying? And moreover, I wonder if maybe Gizelle won't in the picture. And I'm not trying to advocate for this woman to lose no job. I'm really not. Trust and believe. I want her to fix this thing, okay? But in light of her not being able to fix it, I kind of feel like Rockin' Robin, is basically Tweedly D and D'ing to Gizelle's drum. Okay, she's beating to Gizelle's drum and following behind her, which again follows along with what I was saying earlier, is that the fish stinking from the head down. Okay, and Gizelle is at the head at the table with somebody down to production in the network. Okay, because I don't know who letting her go carry on for this long with these beefs. Meanwhile, they recap the Mother's Day. Also, is it just me? Robin got a pretty face. Robin is a gorgeous woman. But why does she always come to the scene looking like she just barely hanging on? Just barely make. I'm not typically not one to comment on the ladies' appearances and stuff like that. But I think it's all that extra hair. You know what I'm saying? It's beginning to look like, y'all remember Gina from Real Housewives of Orange County when she started wearing them wigs and them weaves? It's beginning to look like the same type of weave. Okay, it's beginning to look like, are we gonna do something with this or not? And I know I'm probably again sounding harsh, but I can't stand it no more. I feel like Robin just be coming to these scenes looking like she just woke up out the bed, rolled over, maybe slapped some makeup on, because again, she face is face is beautiful. But I just feel like everything else, she just be coming in looking like she just came from, I don't know. Like she just woke up, rolled out of bed, and said, I'm here. I'm here. I don't care, as my tagline says. Anyway, they recap the Mother's Day event and Karen putting the names in the fishbowl or not to select the ladies to come down with her to the Surrey. Robin says that Kern invited her to lunch one day, and Kern opened up her phone, and in it was a screenshot of Robin and her family. And it confirmed to Robin that Kern was obsessed with her. Now I got to ask this question. Kern, why you got a photo of Robin and her whole family in your phone? Karen is a strange bird, okay? And for some reason, is it just me? Or do I not even care? Like I don't mind. Like it just seems to fit to me. It seems to fit that Karen would have a random photo in her phone of Robin's family. It's weird, but I mean, it is what it is. Here we are. But Karen morphing into Robin in this. Oh God, it took me out. I did laugh. Anyway, Mia tells Robin that she's retained a lawyer to file for divorce, during her and G's financial crisis. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I guess we'll get more on that later. They seem to be holding this storyline back for us. I hope they don't hold it back like they held the Drew and the Ralph situation back. Y'all, they had all season to trickle down that bit of information, any little thing that they could about Drew and Ralph, and they held on to that thing so tight until the end. You would have thought that Ralph or cousin Courtney was reality Von Teese. Meanwhile, Robin reveals that she and Juan are not in therapy, and Mia's looking like, girl, y'all should be. Because she's like, do you think you need to go? This is what I mean. To me, Mia, in these moments, even when she's with somebody like a Robin, who she still manages to shade Robin down, but in the most friendliest of ways. That's what I miss about Potomac. Like, I want more of that. Okay. Robin says, no, our issues are not with each other. What are they then? She says our issues are, let's just enjoy life more. Anyway, apparently now that Juan has been removed from his post, he is I guess it's helping maybe him and Robin spend more time together, and that's when I wrote in my notes, I feel like Mia is more useful than some of these other wives in just even getting information out of Robin. Wendy and Eddie head to the Jamaican restaurante for a date night. The talk show is stressing Wendy the F out. He's launching Happy Eddie, aka the Devil's Lettuce. I did live for this joint confessional. I don't know what Wendy had on, but I liked it. But I liked Eddie's suit even more. Okay. I said that suit right there, I need that in my life. Although the day I wear a plain white suit and it ain't for a photo shoot and I'm wearing it out to an event, slap me. Okay, because I know I'm gonna already waste some money. Okay. They both busy. Karen and Ray head out for a date night as well. Karen need a man trainer to come train her and get her booty and body right. She need a man with a ponytail. This ain't gonna go, well towards these rumors that these ladies be trying to, pop off about her and people down to the Las Vegas and the restaurantes and the bars and things like that. But anyway, she's gonna put some names in the hat of the girls that she wants on the Surrey County trip. And actually, no, she ain't gonna even do that. She just gonna put the names of the girls she wants to come. Okay. And I'm like, why even say you putting the names in a hat at this point? You just gonna tell the ladies that you want to come. That's it. That's what it's turned into. So let's not live in the dream. So she invites Candiace, Ashley, Wendy, and Gizelle. Why? Why? If she know any better, like I know better, she know Gizelle ain't coming. Because Gizelle cannot even for a second fathom to think that she needs to be a team player. Hence, the fish is stanking from the head down. Stanking. Not stinking. Stanking. The fish is stanking from the head down. And again, it just goes to show who the bottleneck is in this situation. Because while Wendy ain't about to give Nneka no neck room, she can at least go on the trip. I would rather, at least if you could do that, I feel like, that's something. At least give me something to talk about. Okay? Be willing to spar with somebody. But Gizelle is so afraid of Candiace and what Candiace will have these people coming to do. The people is chasing Gizelle down in the streets, baby. Good thing she got that athleisure wear so she can run fast from these folks. Listen, if you send in the threats to the people on reality TV, stop it. Okay? You need to find something better to do with your time. We watch the shows, we comment on it on these recaps, and then we in the chatterization to get your feelings out, and then you comment on it on social media maybe. But going to these people pages and commenting about how they need to go to the HE double hockey sticks or trying to wish ill will on these people is madness. Okay? It's madness. It's not that serious. Yes, we may comment. Yes, we may have our favorites and who we don't like. But to have feelings, like real, I'm gonna get you sucker feelings. That's a different level, and you need to find something else to do. Now, it's fine to be passionate about the show itself, but we got to stop that. Now, if you don't fall into that camp, and if you listen, that's if you believe Gizelle, okay? Because again, she make it seem like it's a witch hunt in the streets, like the people are out, like the people it's the 1600s, and they're out to get her, okay? Meanwhile, Nneka, see, to me, this scene should have been Nneka's first scene right here. Okay. This should have been her introduction to the group. I felt like this scene with Gizelle and Karen and Charisse going to visit Nneka, this was a much better introduction to me than anything that we've seen thus far outside of her shopping with her sister. Okay. She's unpacking at her house. She's in love with Potomac. We do get to see the fact that, they're new. Actually, we're reminded that they are newlyweds and that they never actually lived together. That they are just really, that they lived across the country from each other. It's 11 episodes in, and this wasn't driven home more. This wasn't explored more, or at least from what she's saying. Even Gizelle reminds us that 11 episodes in, we're really just getting to know her, and that's on the fault of production. So we also get a flashback of her going with Mia to get a second opinion for her IVF, and Mia tells her about the IUI. And Gizelle then asks, well, has Karen been over here? And yes, the flashback scenes show Karen giving Nneka the Potomac tour. Again, this should have been seen. Y'all gave Nneka nothing in the beginning. Nothing good. Y'all set her up for failure. Ay, ay, ay. Karen and giving Nneka the Potomac tour was much more entertaining than Shrine Gate. Anyway, apparently, and Nneka says that Karen tried her by alluding to the fact that, and I said fact, because it is a fact that Nneka lives in North Potomac. Can I tell y'all something from somebody who knows? Potomac ain't that big. Okay. So why they making it seem like, we talking about North America and South America. It really ain't that big. It ain't really that much distance in between the two areas. So I don't understand what the distinction is or what the shade was. Okay. Been through there. You could drive through there in about 5-10 minutes. All right. So anyway, the producers make sure to note that Karen lives in a rental and Miss Nneka owns her home. Okay. I mean, and so does Gizelle. She reminds us that, well, girl, you should have told her that while she's saying you live in North Potomac, like it's the ghetto, okay, that you at least own your home while she renting hers. Sharice stops by and we get flashbacks of Nneka and Sharice hanging out in and around Potomac. I would have rather seen that than Shrine Gate. Okay. Gizelle tells Sharice that Karen was shading her for living North Potomac down to the slums. And Sharice says, well, Nneka girl, you should have said at least you own your home. Same read, different girl. So Gizelle then reveals that she got the text from Karen, and then Karen invited Ashley, Wendy, and Candiace and her to the Surrey, and she turned it down because she is not associating with Candiace or Wendy. See, again, this to me, this is what I'm talking about. It would have been one thing if she had said, I can't be around Candiace right now. But she also has extended that to Wendy because Wendy read her down and she can't take it. Or is there another reason? I don't know. The optics of it don't look good, though. The optics of it don't. These girls have read her down so bad. For some reason, she cannot seem to recover from it. But, Katie read her down too, season 1. Katie read her down to the ground. Okay? She seemed okay from that. Karen has read her down by the river. She seemed to be able to get over that. But for some reason, let it be Monique, Candiace, or Wendy, she can't get over it. She can't move past it. Something going on there. Why? Why? I ain't saying, listen, don't put words in my mouth. But I'm saying that there's an optics issue here. And she needs to become cognizant of that. Because again, it would have been one thing if it was Candiace. But it's a whole different thing because you still can't get over the Wendy of it all. Oh, I forgot you just don't like her. But you sure enough like the first season she was on there. She was racing to be your friend. My God. You loved her then. My word. You was partying down with the woman. But the moment that she became your target and she rose to the challenge, okay, and sunned you, it became a situation where you, I don't like her. Never liked her. Interesting. Like you gotta learn. Like this is Housewives. There's a little bit of game you gotta play here in order to maintain the show, right? And if you have gotten to a point where at least one of the things that I feel like about Monique that I can respect, when she said she couldn't play the game no more, she left. Deuces, I'm out of here. This ain't worth it for me. If it ain't worth it for you no more to play this game, babe, then somebody got to get the step in. And I'm sure she's quite certain in her mind that she's not going to be the person that's asked to get gone. But what you can't do is season after season after season trash these folk and then expect them not to come back for you. And then when they come back for you harder, you in your feelings crumbling by the flow, talking about you being attacked online. Miss Mama, you might be the problem. So apparently, now that Gizelle is not going, everybody gets an invite, okay? Because, suddenly the insurance liability has increased. Don't you know? So Nneka cannot get past not being on the original invite. And it's like, girl, first of all, let me say this. Everybody's not going to always be invited to something. You could be in a group of friends, and I'm going to let you know, I don't get upset when I'm not invited to everything that my friends are doing. I don't. Everything ain't for me to go. And just like Gizelle, when there's somebody that's invited that I don't like that's going and I don't want to go, I don't go, and I don't complain about it, but I also don't want to be included in that group anymore anyway. My friend can still be my friend. I just know that I'm not on that show. I'm on a different one. My own. Because I'm an introvert anyway. Okay? Everybody's not invited to everything. That's not how friendship works. Sorry. So everybody that's upset and mad that you didn't get an invite first, handle that with your therapist. I mean, for real. Like that's what's up, for real. Like, I'm not gonna be upset because I'm not invited to something, the first round. You know what I'm saying? If I can't go, I can't go. When Robin was like, I got something to do. This was last minute. I got something to do. And Karen was like, cool, Robin. Karen, I feel like Karen purposely misspelled her name. Anyway, Nneka cannot get over not being on the first invite. I'm like, girl, you just moved here. We barely know you. Okay. All we know about you is that somebody sent your name to a shrine. That's all I know. That's all I know. And you want to have a baby. And you just moved in. Outside of that, why should you expect to be invited anywhere? You just get to know these folk. Mia can't also understand why she wasn't invited, on the first round. Okay. She can't get over it. Karen's like, you need to. I'm like, y'all ain't even back in each other's good graces enough like that. Okay, like that. For me to be inviting somebody that has spoken ill about me down to my family home. Like, no, not yet, girl. We working on it though. We working on it. Anyway, the next day, Ashley, Wenda, Nneka, and Candiace meet at Karen's. Wendy is looking like, why is Nneka here, Ike? Nneka is willing to give Karen grace for her numerous personalities and, the fact that she wasn't invited on the first time, and plus she needs those scenes. And she says that Karen is entering senior citizenship anyway. See, I prefer shade, but I'm still here, right? Fun shade. Karen didn't understand why Gizelle didn't want to come and why Mia had an issue. And Nneka calls her out for not inviting everyone until Gizelle couldn't come. And Karen says, easily, I own it. You're right. That's how you do it. That's how you let the dust settle. You know what? I own that. You're right, girl. Moving on. Wendy announces that Happy Eddie is throwing an event. It is unlikely, though, we learned from the confessional that Nneka and Ike will be invited because Ike did try to fight the man. Or at least looked like he was about to fight the man. And Nneka, meanwhile, is inviting all the girls to her unpacking pajama lingerie party. That's a lot of things. I'm not unpacking nobody's house. Okay. I'm not packing up my house. I'm not unpacking my house. I'm barely unpacking my house. Okay. The movers do that. You're not gonna have me over to be hired labor. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Pam. I used to do that in my younger days. I'd invite my friends over for a pizza party to help me pack up my home or unpack my home. Yes, I would. I would pay them in pizza and alcohol. We was young, so everybody went for it back then. But I don't know if they're going for it now. I wouldn't even do it now. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm so introverted that I'm kind of like, no, rifling through my things. So anyway, Wendy is like, oh God, I don't know that I'm gonna go. I might be bleaching my eyebrows. And she's like, she's trying to skip 20 steps by inviting me. And I do agree they need to have a conversation first, but I don't think that there was anything wrong with necessarily inviting her because she's also in the car, and I think it's also just etiquette. I do. But I cannot fault somebody like Wendy for not inviting Nneka when they're not in a good space and just kind of keeping it 100. But the fact that they're both there lets me know that there's a potential that they can move forward, maybe. But again, I feel like it's learned behavior at this point. The girls are learning from Gizelle how this group works. That's why I said earlier, the fish stinks from the head down. It's all learned behavior. Gizelle is setting the tone. And I know that's giving her a lot of power, but I think that the network is also giving her a lot of power and a lot of leeway. And that's just the facts. Look at the show from the history. If you've been watching the show from day one, you know. Whether you like her or not, you got to acknowledge that, I mean, the woman has power. There's so anyway. So Ashley reveals that she's got the Ashleisure line with Gizelle, and Wendy's like, you and Gizelle creating clothes? And it ain't for rave? What? Do you see them getting dressed every day? Head to the no, no. Not me in that velour rhinestone jumpsuit. Anyway, so they stop at some random rest stop for lamaritas and scratch-offs before they arrive down to the Surrey in the house where all of Karen's family is waiting. I do like, again, as I said, the Black woman, owning a part of a plantation that her ancestors were slaves on. That's huge to me. That's huge. And then the Reverend blesses the land. Then it's time to do some yard work, some hoeing and churning butter in the backyard. Apparently, they're going to be doing some hoeing to get the snakes out the way. It is a testament to what the group could be as I watch them run through the fields. And then it's time for lunch. Wendy was glad she was at least Karen's first option. Shade. Ashley wants to pave the way for Wendy and Nneka to move forward, and Wendy is here for Karen. She's a family girl, and this is a sisterhood. But she does want to address Nneka calling her a B, talking about her mom, and her husband coming for Eddie. Nneka's like, I didn't attack anyone. I told the truth. We're going around the mulberry bush. Anyway, Wendy has no interest in having a conversation with someone whose existence is inconsequential to her. Okay. And I'm like, sis, somebody got to do it. Okay. Somebody got to do it. Y'all got to figure out a way to come to Jesus. Y'all do. It's just that simple. Because this is boring to me. Nneka feels like her existence has Wendy bothered, and Wendy feels like the invitation from Nneka was skipping some steps. Just simply say, listen, you and I need to have a conversation. I do not like the things that were said about my mom. I don't like that your husband tried to attack my husband, but you and I need to find a way to come to some common ground if we are going to exist within this group or not. Period. And a one-on-one sit-down needs to be had expeditiously because it'll be 12 episodes later and we still ain't had it. Anyway, that's my review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 11, First Come, First Served. Be on the lookout because we're going to be discussing this messy trip down to the Hilton Head. Give us a head. So be sure to tap in for that when it goes live. All right. I'll catch you on the next video.